No, Michael Oliver, you've had a blinder. How can that be serious foul play? Like, my head is still hot. Maybe it's this beanie, I need to take it off. But it's, nah, Michael Oliver, you... Yes, guys, welcome to the Mids MB channel, and today is episode 1 of the new series, Unfiltered. So what do I mean by this? Unfiltered is essentially me giving my post-match reaction, a full-length reaction to the game, and I'm not going to edit it out. I'm just going to give you my opinion and my thoughts straight, raw. Maybe pause, but you know what I meant. It's just, yeah, let's get into it. The first thing I'm going to say is Michael Oliver needs to be investigated. And when I say he needs to be investigated, I mean with the same energy they had for David Coote. And maybe, I don't know if the court should get involved, because I've never seen a red card like this ever in my life. Like, you guys can tell, I've come straight from football. For those of you who follow me on Instagram and TikTok, this is my football beanie. This is my do you know what I mean? For all you guys who are interested in the series I'm talking about, it's Come Ball With Me. When I'm playing grassroots football, I film every week a little vlog, a little behind the scenes, whatever. So make sure you follow my Instagram and TikTok for that. But back onto the main topic. Arsenal somehow actually managed to come away with a win, which is great. And I say somehow only because the past 3 red cards we've had this season. So Rice getting sent off at home against Brighton, Saliba getting sent off against Bournemouth, and then Trossard getting sent off against City. In all 3 games, we've dropped points. And in this one, we did not, which is great to see. A lot of development in terms of character. And I guess you can say even tactically grinding out the result. Hey, now I do know that Wolves went down to 10 men after João Gomez, but we're gonna get on to João Gomez in a second. We're gonna get onto him in a second, because I don't understand how Michael Oliver can see Miles Lewis-Skelly's foul, which it was. It was a foul. It was a clear foul. Everybody knows it was. It was a tactical foul. If you've either watched football for long enough or if you've played it yourself, everyone understands that tactical fouls like that, it's just part of the game. In fact, there was even one today in one of my games where literally we were on a counter-attack and the guy simply just held onto his arm, brought him down. It's a yellow card. Bog standard yellow card and bog standard refereeing. However, Michael Oliver, for some reason, saw this tactical foul and said, you know what, straight red card. And my problem is that how can you as a ref, as this happened live-o, then and there, decide if it's a red card? If he gave a yellow card and then VAR recommended that, actually it should be a red card, then that's a separate issue. It's separate for Michael Oliver. But the fact he gave a straight red card with seeing it in real time, I just don't understand. I mean, you know, I've got my laptop here because I went over the game again just to make sure that I fully understand exactly what was going on in this game. And what was going on in this game was Michael Oliver at his usual antics again. Even before the game, a lot of Arsenal fans knew that as soon as it got announced that Michael Oliver was in charge, we all knew something was going to happen. Because on this same ground, 3 years ago, he sent off Martinelli, and this double yellow card is like nothing I've ever seen in my life. I'm going to try and play the clip for you now so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. There is no... I honestly have no words, because I have never ever seen a double booking in the same instance of play. Never in my life. Academy football, never seen it. Grassroots football, never seen it. All the years I've watched Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, Liga Portugal, all of these leagues, I have never ever seen this in my life. And of course, this is the reason why, as soon as he sent off Lewis Skelly, you saw all the fans chanting, Michael Oliver, it's not about you. Because it's not about him. But for every time, I might even gotten the lyrics wrong, to be fair with you, but you know what chant I'm talking about. Every single time and every single opportunity that Michael Oliver has, he wants to make the game about him. When it comes to Champions League, when it comes to international tournaments, we don't complain about the standard of refereeing, because the referees are there to do the job. They know what they're here to do, and they know the letter of the law. Hence why, when it comes to Champions League, Europa League, even the Euros that we saw in the summer, there weren't any wild calls really from VAR or from the referees themselves, because they're of a good level. However, when it comes to the Premier League, every week it seems like there is something for us to talk about. There's something for us to critique. There's something that PGMO will get wrong, and then on Monday morning, Sky Sports, they'll get Dermot Gallagher to go and do ref watch and say, oh, you know what? I'll be honest with you, I'm not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of it because he's just there to defend PGMOL. Like, it's not enough They should scrap that ref watch thing unless they get someone who's completely independent from PGMOL. My idea, if you want to actually bring fairness and I guess a bit more clarity to refereeing decisions, why don't you get a refereeing expert from a different league to look at it? And the reason why I say a different league is because there's no bias, there's no sort of personal relationship to PGMOL. There's no sort of affairs or ties to, either the current referees or the people who are even there in the back doing match analysis and making sure that the referees' decisions are in fact correct. If you get someone from a different league or even a different country, they can at least be 100% independent and 100% unbiased. I feel like that should be what RefWatch is, instead of getting Dermot Gallagher, who used to be part of the same corrupt PGMOL that's been there since Fergie days. And for those of us who remember, Fergie days were incredibly corrupt, but that's a story for another day. Now, I want to touch on João Gomez's tackle. Because I feel like if Michael Oliver gave that a second yellow and then a red card, but he gave Myers Lewis Skelly a straight red card, how this consistency already isn't weighing up. Now, look, obviously, I know it was 10 men versus 10 men. Wolves and Arsenal both got red cards. So you might be asking, what difference does it make? The difference it makes is that you can clearly see now that he can't even be consistent in the same game. Both tackles, in fact, I didn't even think Myles Lewis Skelly's one was even high. I saw the replay and I saw what they said in terms of, brushing against the shin and then onto the ankle. But it wasn't as bad as João Gomez's tackle on Timber. João Gomez's one went straight flat, studs, onto the top of his foot, which is just by the ankle, just in front of the Achilles. That tackle was a straight red card. That's serious foul play, not what Myles Lewis Skelly did. So I don't really understand what was going on in Michael Oliver's head there. I don't know how we can make such a rash decision like that in a game. It's just weird. And the thing is, this isn't the first time that Michael Oliver has been... It's not the first time he's been, I guess, I don't even know what the word to call it, incompetent, unreasonable, irrational. Against Manchester City last season, when we were playing at home, Mateo Kovacic tackle on Declan Rice. I'm going to try and put a picture up on the screen so you guys can see. Again, I'm not going to edit anything that I'm doing in terms of Unfiltered. Only thing I might do is just chop up a little bit, maybe put some graphics in, just so you guys can understand what I'm talking about at the moment in time. But this tackle from Kovacic on Rice is a red card. Not only that, he was on a yellow card and he received no booking. So what my thing is that how can Michael Oliver be so certain that, okay, that's not a yellow card in that time and play? Bear in mind, the referees don't have the luxury of watching back the play as it happens. Us at home and online, we see the stream, and then Sky Sports, TNT Sport, wherever, TV broadcast is showing it, shows us the replay, shows it to us in slow motion, and then after the game, they get whoever's hosting to now go do analysis and say, oh, you know what, should he have been sent off? The referees don't have the luxury. And unfortunately, I'm not saying that they should be perfect because humans aren't perfect, but they should uphold the letter of the law to a very high standard. And it's not only this season it's happened, because last season, like I just gave you the mention now from Michael Oliver, not giving Mateo Kovacic a second yellow or even a straight red for that tackle, but then even as far back as 3 years ago. And 3 years ago, Arsenal weren't competing for the title. So it's not like I'm saying this only because we're competing for the title. This is something that has been an issue with Michael Oliver and Arsenal fixtures for a while now. I'm not even going to touch on, Mateo Kovacic. I didn't even mean Mateo Kovacic. I'm not even going to touch on Michael Oliver not disallowing Akanji's goal against Fulham. I think it was earlier this year, actually, when he was clearly obstructing play from an offside position. But hey, look, that's that. But at least onto the game now. We can actually focus on the game. And there's a lot of positives. There's a lot of positives today. See what I'm saying? This is why I always cut these out and don't include them, but it is what it is. There's a lot of positives to take from this game because I think Arsenal, like I mentioned at the very beginning of the video, showed a lot of great character to not only dig in, but continue playing the exact same way, continue making sure that, yes, we do have enough numbers back, but then also, if the opportunity presents itself, attack well. And I think we did that. I want to say a big shout out to Martinelli because over the last month or so, to be fair, since the start of the new year, Martinelli's been in inspired form. Now, he may not necessarily have the stats line to show it in terms of the goals and the assists. He has picked up a goal here and there, But I feel like his general play is actually getting better. We saw it today where he was coming off of the right hand side, cutting in on his left and actually trying to put crosses in. And I guess it's just that maturity, that level of him saying, okay, do you know what? I need to step up. I need to better my own performances. And yes, my bro, Saka, hamstring injury, unfortunately. But that's not going to hinder our attacks. It seems like he himself is taking it upon himself to actually, I don't want to say state his claim, because I guess last season not last season, the season before, he had a very good season, scoring double digits goals and being very, very important. But I feel like people have forgotten the impact he had that season, and I've kind of written him off, I guess because he dribbles with his head down or whatever. I don't know. But recently, you can't deny that he's been in good form. The second player that I want to mention is Calafiori. And I think a lot of people have been, I don't want to say ridiculing him or getting onto him or getting onto the transfer really, because yeah, we bought him for about 42, 45 million from Bologna, and he has been injured probably about 2 or 3 different times already this season, and we're only in January. But one thing I like about Calafiori is that there's a bit of fearlessness when he plays. It's like when he comes on, obviously he came on at halftime because we had the red card, which meant that Waneri had to come off. Unfortunate, because he seems to have a decent first half. He had a bit of positive moments, but you got to do what you got to do for the team. But yeah, like I said, Calafiori came on and immediately he was like, okay, I'm playing and we're going to play comfy. And then obviously he got the winner. And I don't know if this is becoming a thing for him, and I hope it probably will, because, everyone likes a clutch player every now and then. But when the chips were down against us, against City, he came out with a clutch equaliser. Now the chips are down against us again, and he came out with a winner. So I hope this is something that we can start to see a lot more from Calafiori in terms of just getting the goals when it really, really matters, getting the goals when either things are going against us in the game in terms of red card, or we're, pegged back unexpectedly or expectedly like we were against Man City. I hope this is something that's a reoccurring theme. And who knows? Calafiori, I really like him. I just need him to stay fit. That's literally it. However, the one negative I will say, and it's a negative that we've seen for a little while with Arsenal, especially this month, going out against Manchester United in the FA Cup, and then also losing the first leg at home to Newcastle 2-0 in the Carabao Cup. And this is Arsenal aren't hungry enough in front of goal. We're not finishing our dinner. We're creating so many chances. And Kai Havertz cannot find the back of the net. Yeah, it's interesting. It's very interesting because Kai Havertz has never been a clinical player. Let's be honest. At Chelsea, even when he was breaking through at Leverkusen, I don't think clinical is the word that you use to describe him, or at least describe one of his best attributes. But Kai, come on, man, you have to score. You have to put the ball in the back of the net. Like, yeah, he could have, if he was a clinical striker, he could have had at the very least a brace today. The cross where it came in and it was at perfect height and he headed it down to Jose Sar's feet, that one has to go in. The one where Rice crossed it in from a free kick and he headed it over the bar, you have to, at the very least, get that on target. And then the other one in the first half as well, when it came in as a cross. And bear in mind, yes, there was a bit of competition for the header, but still, you have to either be getting that on target or heading it down to Martinelli. And the reason I said that, even as an option, is because I've seen him do that before. These are things I've seen him do, so he can do it again. And again, this might sound a bit fantasy-like in terms of me being a football fan saying, well, these professional footballers, you should be able to do this, you should be able to do that. Oh, I saw him do it. It's just, I just want more from him. That's it. And to be fair with you, there is going to be another video coming out on my channel about Arsenal, specifically about Kai Havertz and the type of striker that Arsenal need. So if you're interested in that, make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for that. Going back to the red card issue, because I feel like this is the biggest talking point of the game. If that red card didn't happen, the scoreline probably would have been a little bit different in terms of maybe we would have scored more than one goal. But the controversy around that red card is definitely the main talking point of the game. And the one thing I want to say is I was actually driving home one of my teammates who I picked up from football, and we were talking about it because we were watching it in the car as well. And he was saying, oh, you know what? Yeah, they'll probably overturn it if they appeal it. And I'm seeing that online as well, but I don't think that can be the only solace for clubs and for football fans, because obviously the red card happened in the game. That was a couple hours ago. I don't even know what time it is right now. But a couple hours ago, the game happened. The red card was then and there, and it impacted the game then and there. If you appeal and then it gets overturned, I'd even be more angry if it gets overturned, because then it's like, oh, so you knew this was wrong. The VAR call for, checking the red card, because VAR checks all red cards, You checked it in Stockley Park or wherever the hell you are, and you realized now you didn't realize in the game that, okay, you know what, let's spend maybe an extra minute longer analyzing this to make sure we get the right decision. And there's always been this argument of VAR around, oh, it takes too long, it takes too long, it takes too long. I think for certain things, you have to allow a good time frame for them to actually get down to the bottom of this decision or get down to the right decision. Now, this isn't me saying that they should take 5 minutes, but it's just jarring to see because I don't understand. I really don't understand. Like, I just don't understand. I just don't understand. I don't know, man. Michael Oliver needs to get sacked. I don't know. No, that's strong. That's strong, actually. I'm not going to come for this job because he's a working man at the end of the day, and it's not very Christian-like of me to come for someone's job. However, Michael Oliver definitely needs to be investigated because today, and I feel like all football fans can agree, today, Michael Oliver tried to do something against Arsenal today. He tried to throw the game, 100%. He needs to check his bank accounts and... Not even him, sorry. PGML, flipping the Old Bailey, Crown Court, CPS, they need to check his bank accounts because I know that, recently over the last couple of years, he's gotten a couple payments from the Saudi group that own Man City. But hey, I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm just putting out facts. What he did today, sorry. And I know Arsenal fans have this like reputation online of us complaining about referee decisions and whatnot, but I'm sorry, if you don't agree that that tactical foul was not a red card, I don't know for you because there were so many players around. It was outside Wolves' own box. This is what enrages me. It's just like, how can that be serious foul play? Nah, Michael Oliver, you've had a blinder. How can that be serious foul play? Like, my head is still hot. Maybe it's this beanie, I need to take it off. But it's Michael Oliver, yeah, it's okay. But at least the world is now aware. The football world in the UK is a bit more aware now to how bad Michael Oliver is. And trust me, if there's no sort of, you know what, I'm just not looking forward to watching Sky Sports on a Monday and seeing Dermot Gallagher's Barled start talking about, oh, yeah, he's well within his right to give that red card. Oh, it was definitely serious foul play. For them to slow it down. Football doesn't happen in slow motion. So I don't even understand that point sometimes when they talk about, oh, if you look at it in slow motion, these are all happening now, rapido, like that, in seconds. These are split seconds. You can't be analyzing it in slow motion because when you overanalyze everything in slow motion, it will always, always, always look worse. Always. Doesn't matter what it is. But yeah, I'm just not looking forward to it. And I think it's a deeper issue and it's an issue that I can go on for ages and ages, but it's not in the scope of this video. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this post-match reaction. I'm going to do a lot more of this. The whole series of my post-match reactions is now going to be called Unfiltered because essentially it is unfiltered. I might chop a little bit here and there just to make sure that my points are still flowing when you guys are watching it back because I care a lot about what I'm putting out to you guys, MB United. And those of you who aren't even subscribed, those of you who are new, you guys should definitely subscribe to join MB United and keep up with the good football content, man. This is the hub, yeah? This is the hub that you should be at for Premier League and also, the odd top 10 list, post-match reactions and more. There's so much more to come. So make sure you guys subscribe. Comment down below how you guys felt as well. Like, I really want to know, am I just going crazy? Am I just, I don't know, deluded Arsenal fan and thinking that shouldn't have been a red card? Let me know all your thoughts in the comments below. But until then, guys, keep it real and I'll see you on the other side in a bit.